Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. You probably remember me saying that one of the things that plagues the Dragon Ball community is essentially treating every installment of Dragon Ball as a separate aspect of the series in comparison to the rest of Dragon Ball, and that effect has struck again in the Dragon Ball community after the latest episode and last episode of Dragon Ball Daima. Now, Dragon Ball Daima had a very controversial last episode. It left a lot of questions unanswered, a lot of open-ended aspects of the story that may likely be expanded on in the future, but that's a discussion for another day. But one of the questions that people have, and one of the things that people are confused about more than anything else, is whether or not Goku had Super Saiyan 4 throughout the period of time between after he fought Buu all the way up to this point in Dragon Ball Daima. Now, if you watched my last video, you're probably not confused about this at all, and if you have not watched my latest video, I strongly encourage you to go watch that video because it will pretty much clear everything up in a more in-depth manner using past references throughout the entire Dragon Ball series. But today, I just want to acknowledge this whole thing in a more straightforward way and basically just explain why this misunderstanding exists amongst the community as to whether or not Goku had Super Saiyan 4 the entire time. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, fans tend to look at everything in this really weird way where it's like all of the events prior to the events that they're seeing recently didn't happen. And that has caused a huge issue recently in the Dragon Ball community, because when Goku is questioned by Vegeta as to whether or not he was hiding Super Saiyan 4, which is just a reference to whenever Goku hid Super Saiyan 3 from Vegeta, Goku, being the airhead that he is, basically just says, well, I trained a whole lot after Buu, but I didn't know if it would work. Now, this has caused people to assume that Neeva was not the one to unlock Goku's new Super Saiyan transformation, and that he had it the entire time. Now, I made this tweet essentially acknowledging this, pointing out that the director of the scene where Neeva unlocks Goku's new form, which again, the episode is called Awakening. That in itself should tell you it's new, but also the director basically says that this is the instance that this new form is born. Okay? Now, the reason this is very important is because the terminology used by the director here basically acknowledges, along with the title of the episode, that Super Saiyan 4 was new. But people jump to this conclusion that it's not new due to what Goku said. Now, in my latest video, I explained how Saiyans mutate, how they transform, how they get stronger, which is why I think you should go watch this video. But just to sort of simplify what's going on here. Now, Goku saying he trained a lot after Buu is not shocking, okay? That's how Goku sees these things. He sees everything as training. Now, prior to Buu, Goku has always known that it is possible to push Super Saiyan farther. He has known that since he found Super Saiyan. That is not a new concept to him. And every time he pushes Super Saiyan farther, he gives it a name. He basically just calls it Super Saiyan with a number next to it, because that is an indicator that the form that he is using is just a powered up variant of Super Saiyan. Now, in my latest video, I explained that what Neeva did when he dropped that magic orb into Goku's body is that he essentially caused Goku's body to do what it normally does as he is powering up from Super Saiyan 1 all the way up to Super Saiyan 3 and now beyond. This is just an extension of the effect that Goku experiences whenever he powers up through the various Super Saiyan transformations. Now, something that people tend to forget is that there is a technique behind Super Saiyan. This was expanded on in Dragon Ball Super. It is not necessarily just powering up. There is a specific method behind becoming a Super Saiyan, and that is the method that Neeva took advantage of with his magic. He essentially forced Goku to break his limits in the sense that he pushed Super Saiyan 3 into Super Saiyan 4 using the same means that Saiyans normally use to power up as a Super Saiyan. So all Neeva did was just artificially push Super Saiyan 3 into Super Saiyan 4. The same thing that Goku does as an adult when he powers up into Super Saiyan 4, that's essentially what Neeva artificially created and caused in Goku. He essentially caused him to do the same thing that Goku always does whenever he pushes forms as far as he possibly can. He essentially just powers up using Super Saiyan, because Super Saiyan is a particular type of power-up. There is a technique behind Super Saiyan itself that was expanded on in Super. And essentially what Goku is doing here is he is taking the technique that they normally use to tap into Super Saiyan, and he is pushing it as far as he possibly can. And this is the reason that whenever Goku and Vegeta have this discussion afterwards, after everything is all over, this is the reason that they don't even bring up Neeva. Because this is, in fact, Super Saiyan 4. This is Super Saiyan 3 being pushed beyond into Super Saiyan 4. And Goku knows that. He knows that whenever he powered up, which looked very, very difficult, by the way, the power up from Super Saiyan into Super Saiyan 2, into Super Saiyan 3, into Super Saiyan 4 looked extremely difficult. So that should tell you just how unbelievably crazy and hard to achieve this form is. Now, whether or not Goku can use this form again in the future, in my opinion, is up in the air. And it's not because Neeva unlocked this power using magic. That's not why I think that it would be tough for Goku to possibly use this form in the future. And the reason that I think that Super Saiyan 4 is not going to be easy for Goku to replicate in the future is because of what Goku has to do to tap into Super Saiyan 4, as well as the implication of Super Saiyan 4 being the form above Super Saiyan 3. And what I mean by that is, in the Buu Saga, Goku already had issues with Super Saiyan 3. Okay? Super Saiyan 3 was such a drain on Goku's body that he couldn't even tap into full power Super Saiyan 3 whenever he was trying to fight Kid Buu. So the idea that he could tap into a stable version of a form past Super Saiyan 3 and have pretty much zero issue with it, I think is kind of ridiculous. I don't think that that's the case at all, and I think that that is the reason that Neeva was necessary in this situation. It's because of the fact that Super Saiyan 4 in this instance really is Super Saiyan 3 powered up even further using the technique behind Super Saiyan, that it is that much more draining, that much more demanding on Goku's body. Which means that it's likely not going to be easy for Goku to use Super Saiyan 4 again in the future, which is why he said that he didn't even know if it would work whenever he was talking to Vegeta. Essentially, it's no secret that Goku is always trying to push Super Saiyan farther, and he did keep the fact that he pushed Super Saiyan to a new level secret from Vegeta in the past. But the idea that Goku is constantly trying to push Super Saiyan farther is not new. This is something that we should just assume that Goku is doing at this point. We should just assume that he's trying to push Super Saiyan as far as he possibly can. And that's the reason that Goku has this smirk on his face whenever Vegeta asks him if the form was being kept secret from him, because not only is that reminiscent of whenever he was upset with Goku keeping Super Saiyan 3 secret from him, but Goku does consistently try to reach new levels of Super Saiyan power, and it's very, very likely that he was trying to reach a new level of Super Saiyan power prior to this entire series of Dragon Ball Daima, and he just didn't know if he could actually pull it off. So Neeva is the reason that Goku unlocked this form. This form is new. It's not something that he always had hidden away secretly. That's not the case at all. And this form likely is not going to be easy for Goku to use in the future. Not that it will be impossible, but they are very much implying that it's extremely hard to achieve, that Goku was trying to achieve it prior to this, couldn't pull it off. Neeva managed to help him do it. Then he also managed to pull it off again, fighting Goma. But it is a very, very difficult feat to achieve. And understandably so. I mean, pushing Super Saiyan 3 beyond into a whole entire new transformation is an insane feat to think about, considering everything that we know about Dragon Ball. But anyway, I hope this clears up everything for you. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video out to your friends who are confused about this whole thing. I would really, really appreciate that as well. And again, do not forget to check out my latest video. I go super in-depth into how Saiyans mutate, how they power up, the difference between the branches of the different transformations and stuff like that. It's a really, really well done video. But anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.